shadows into my echoes. Step out, step in, let the journey begin. Break free from the chains, explore the remains. Walking through the unknown, find strength in seeds you've sown. Leave behind the familiar, embrace what's exterior. Step out, step in, let the journey begin. Break free from the chains, explore what still remains. Inspiration guide your way, every night and every day. Potential waiting within, it's time to let life begin. Step out, step in, let the journey begin. Break free from the chains, explore what still remains. Walking through the unknown, find strength in seeds you've sown. Leave behind the familiar, embrace what's.
Are you ready to take the first step to embrace the unknown and step out of your comfort zone? Welcome to Step Out, Step In, the podcast that inspires you to break free from your familiar to explore the extraordinary. Hello, this is your host, David Gill. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join me as we dive headfirst into thrilling stories of personal growth, daring adventures, and transformative experiences. Get ready to be motivated, inspired, and empowered to live your life to the fullest. So mark your calendar, set your alarm, and get ready to step out, step in with me every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime. Subscribe now and let's step into the unknown together. This is Step Out, Step In. The journey begins here. Step Out, Step In podcast, live on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe today. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from or where you might be watching the replay from. It's another exciting Monday to come your way with episode 97. Episode 97. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. And thank you, Mark, for sharing. Thank you, Mark, as well as everybody on this live um, podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Um, I hope you're doing amazingly well, and thank you so much for tuning in. Just as Mark said, he has shared. So if you're there, you also share, and let that one person also share with another person so we can all be in this together. And again, I want to welcome you to episode 97 of my Step Out, Step In podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page, please do so. And don't forget to like, share again, and comment. And as you all know, I'm your host, David Joe, and I'm glad you're here with me today, live, or if you're watching, if you might be watching the replay. And today we are going to be talking about a crucial quality. And this quality separates success from failure, and from progress from stagnation, and purpose from distraction. And this is discipline. This is discipline. discipline. You know, and thank you, Ellen. And I'm watching. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited you're here with us tonight. And I believe you're going to have a wonderful and amazing time. Your time here is not going to be wasted. I believe that you will get something out of this. And we are all in this together. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you know, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It is what keeps you on track when motivation fades or fades. And discipline is not just about saying no to distractions, it's about also saying yes to the right things consistently. Now, the key word here is being consistent. And today we'll break it down into 5 keys to maintain, how to maintain discipline. And of course, as a person of faith, I support it with biblical wisdom just to guide us as we journey along. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into this. All right, it looks like my keys are not responding to me today. Okay, so let's see here. All right, let's see. Let's try this. Proverbs chapter 12. Proverbs 12 and the verse 1 from the NIV. Okay. Is the volume still okay or it's still low? Okay, Mark is saying volume. Okay, let me adjust it a little bit here. Thank you, Mark. All right. Okay, so looking at it from the NIV, um, Proverbs chapter 12 and the verse 1, it says, whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. But whoever hates correction is stupid. Ouch. That is kind of harsh. Thank you, Mark. That is kind of harsh. But you know, I didn't write this, I didn't say this, but that is what the Bible is saying. You know, you see, whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is, in other words, when you try to define stupid, it's having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. You know, this is harsh, but it is true. It highlights the discipline, and it's essential for learning and for growth, ladies and gentlemen. It is essential, and it's essential for your learning and for your growth. At the end of the day, we have to see some progression in our lives. We have to see growth. Stagnation is very dangerous. And you don't want to get there. You don't want to be there in 2025. And when we look at Hebrews chapter 12 and the verse 11, it also says that no discipline seems pleasant at a time. No discipline seems pleasant at a time, but painful, you know. But then it goes on to say that later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness that is standing right before the Lord, and peace for those who have been trained by it. It produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. You know, the Passion Translation version, let me read that. The Passion says that, now all discipline seems to be painful at the time, yet later it will produce a transformation of character, bringing a harvest of righteousness and peace to those who yield to it. And that is what discipline does. You know, it can be painful in the beginning, but it helps. It changes. It brings about transformation. And we're going to look at breaking it down into 5 key points tonight. We want to break it down into 5 key points as to how you and I can stay disciplined as we journey through 2025. You know, I believe that 2025 is an amazing year. It's never going to be like any other year that has come and gone. 2025 is going to be a wonderful year, but it depends on you. It depends on me. How we set the tone. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're in the 3rd month of the year, but it is better late than never. So let's look at 5 ways as to how you and I can maintain a discipline. And of course, we will support it with biblical wisdom just to guide us. Just to guide us. So number 1 is set clear goals and stay focused. Set clear goals and stay focused. You know, discipline begins with clarity. If you don't know what you're aiming for, it is easy and very, very easy to get distracted. Ladies and gentlemen, the order of our day, distraction has become part of it. You know, I mean, we all go through it. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is you grab your smartphone. You might see an alert, or what do you call it? You might see social media like or something, you click on it, and that sets the tone for your day. You can get so distracted in there for those moments. But if you're aiming at something, you hardly and barely get distracted. You know, Proverbs 29 and verse 18 tells us that where there is no vision, the people perish. Without a vision, discipline has no direction, ladies and gentlemen. You know, that is the King James. The New King James says that where there is no revelation is the same as vision. Where there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint. You know, restraint is the condition of keeping someone under control. But happy is he who keeps the law. Happy is he who keeps the law. So let's look at how we can apply discipline to our lives. How we can apply setting clear goals and staying focused. Number one is define your goals. I'm sure you can write some of these things down. Define your goals. And defining your goals, you define your goals spiritually, you define your goals mentally, you define your goals emotionally, and you define your goals physically. And as you define your goals, write them down, and every now and then revisit them on a regular basis. As you write them down, revisit them, go back, reference it, look at it on a regular basis. And as much as possible, you know, as much as possible, eliminate distractions that pull you away from your purpose. I always say this, that every one of us was created on purpose, for a purpose, and for God's purpose. Nobody was born by accident or by mistake. You are here to fulfill a purpose. And the purpose to which God created you to fulfill, nobody else can do it except you. That is why you don't have to give up on yourself any given day. So discipline thrives when you have a compelling reason to stay committed. So keep your eyes on the prize, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eyes on the prize. You know, athletes, when they get on the track, what they keep their eyes on is to cross that finish line for that medal, for that trophy. And that is what you and I are here for. There's a prize at the end of your life, at the end of the race. One thing is, you're not competing with anyone, ladies and gentlemen. You are not racing to compete with anyone, but you're competing against yourself. So keep your eyes on the prize and keep your focus. Don't get distracted. Not only do we set clear goals, but develop a daily habit. Develop a daily habit. You know, consistency is the key to discipline. It is remaining consistent that makes the key, or that becomes the key to your discipline. It is not about doing the right thing once, but it is doing it over and over and over again. Thank you for tuning in RC. Thank you so much. All right, so let's look at Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9. Galatians 6 and verse 9. It says that from the NIV, let us not become weary, tired in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. We will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Says, let us not become worried. Don't get tired. Don't get frustrated for doing the right thing. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Ladies and gentlemen, God has brought you and I too far to give up on yourself. If He hasn't given up on you, then who are we to give up on ourselves? We don't have to give up. Stick in there, stay put. Because at the proper time, you will reap a harvest. Yes, you will reap a harvest. So, to develop a daily habit, start small. Choose daily disciplines like prayer, reading, or studying your word, like exercising. Start small. Set a routine and stick to it. Sometimes routines is so challenging. It's so hard to stick to it. You know, but one thing is, God never called us to anything that is easy. He called us. He's telling you, you don't have to do this. Uh, this is too much for you. No, set a routine and stick to it. Make discipline and lifestyle, not a one-time effort, not a one-time effort. And remember, what you do daily determines what you become, should I say permanently? Yeah. So develop a daily habit. Also control your thoughts and actions. When it comes to this, I can stay here for who knows. Discipline starts in the mind, ladies and gentlemen. If you control your thoughts, you can control your actions. If you control your thoughts, you can control your actions. You know, in 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 5 from the NIV, it says, we take captive every thought to make it obedient to God. We take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. So your thought process is very important. Your thought process is very important. What you feed is what grows. There was this little boy that asked his grandfather that the evil and good, which one is stronger? And his grandfather told him that what you feed is what becomes strong, and that is what grows. If you feed evil, that is what you get. It gets stronger. If you feed good, that is what you get, and it gets stronger. So control your thoughts. Be mindful of negative thoughts that can lead to sometimes procrastination and laziness. Replace them with scripture and affirmation of discipline. Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many scriptures in the Word of God that you and I can confess on a daily basis. There's so many of them. Find scriptures that will help you, build you up, will get you out of the place of stagnation, will get you out of the place of fear. Paul said to Timothy that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. He encouraged him that don't let fear take over your mindset. Don't let fear take over you. You have something more to fight fear. You have the power of God, you have the love of God, and you have the soundness of mind to fight fear. So replace them with scriptures and affirmation of discipline. Make intentional choices, ladies and gentlemen. Don't act on impulse, but on wisdom. And of course, if you and I need wisdom, we have to ask of God, who gives liberally unto all men. Your mind, let me say this, your mind is a battlefield. And every battle you win or lose begins in your mind. If you win it in your mind, you're going to win the battle. If you lose it in your mind, you lose the battle. So win the battle by choosing discipline over comfort. Not only do we control our thoughts and actions, you also embrace accountability. Ladies and gentlemen, accountability is one of the things that gradually we are losing this in our community, in our society, in our lives. Nobody wants to be accountable to anyone anymore. But we have been called to be accountable to one another. We were never meant to do life alone. Nobody is a lone ranger. Nobody is, which movie was that? I think it was it Rambo, First Blood, or something like that, where one person defeated a whole company of troops. Ladies and gentlemen, that can never happen. It is not true. They did it for the sake of a movie, but one person can never capture a whole army, no matter how strong you are. It is impossible. You need a team to do it. You need other people. So you and I were not called to do life alone. Every one of us has a part to play in each other's life. Everybody has a strength. Everybody have their weaknesses. I have mine, you have yours, I have my strength, you have your strength. But when we come together, your strength builds up my weakness and my strength builds up your weakness. That is how it's supposed to be. In Ecclesiastes chapter 4, let's look at the scripture real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verses 9 and 10. It says, two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. It says two are better than one. This is not about marriage, but it's about relationships. If either of them falls, or either of them falls down, one can help the other up. And that is what accountability helps us stay disciplined, helps us stay focused. So how do we apply this? One of the ways that you can do this is by finding a mentor. Not a tormentor, but a mentor, a friend. A group that challenges you to stay disciplined. Not a group that makes you do otherwise, discourages you from staying disciplined. And ladies and gentlemen, be honest about your struggles and seek encouragement. Seek encouragement from the right source. I know some people have trusted in others where they got disappointed. They confided in people, and after confiding in them, their stories were all over the place. Yes, but keep trusting again. Don't keep it to yourself. Let accountability sharpen you. Let our accountability sharpen you. And when we look at Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 17, Proverbs 27 and verse 17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. The only thing you can use to sharpen an iron is an iron. And that is what accountability is for. Find people that can sharpen you. Find people who have walked the walk, talk the talk, and they will understand your situation and help them to encourage you when you are in that situation. Ladies and gentlemen, discipline is easier when you have people cheering you on and holding you up. You know, When you look at sportsmen, their coaches instills discipline in them, and as they instill discipline, they also cheer them up, they motivate them, they encourage them. So embrace accountability. And the fifth point, the last but not the least, rely on God's strength, not just your own. You know, self-discipline alone is not enough. You know, some people will make you believe that, oh, you need to do this all by yourself and all alone and all that. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I need the strength of God. We need God's strength. In Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13, Paul said something to the church of Philippi. It says, oh, I beg your pardon. Let's see here. All right. Sorry about that. I think I got the wrong thing here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these things do happen. Okay, so he talked about, he says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That was how he encouraged the church of Philippi. Now, he was talking about doing the right things as long as it's ethical, as long as it's righteous, legal, constitutional. Says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So he was telling them that what I do, I depend on God's strength. And you and I need to depend on God's strength as we embrace discipline. We want to rely on God, not just our own strength. In fact, in Proverbs chapter 3 and the verse 5 and 6, it tells us that trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Don't depend on your own self. Don't lean on your own understanding. But it goes further to say that in the verse 6, it says, in all your ways acknowledge him. In all your ways acknowledge God, and he will direct your path. So the writer of Hebrews was telling us, or is telling us, that we don't have to lean on our own strength, but we have to lean on the strength of God. That is what you and I need to do. So in order to do this effectively and efficiently, number one is you have to start your day with the Lord. Start the day with prayer. As a person of faith, I'll tell you this. Ask God for grace to help you to stay disciplined. Lean on God's word. When you feel weak, not only when you feel weak or discouraged, but lean on God's word consistently. Trust that with God's help, you can stay committed to your calling. You have a calling, ladies and gentlemen. You know, okay, I'll skip it. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. And with God's help, I know and I believe that you can stay strong and you can stay disciplined. I know that. I know that for a fact. And I know that for sure. Watch the space. All right, again, thank you for tuning in to episode 97 of my Step Out, Step In podcast, live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's tuned in tonight for your time and for your commitment and for your discipline as well. So let's do a quick recap. You know, discipline is a daily choice, but you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. It's a teamwork. It's a teamwork. So let's look at a recap. So we said number one, set clear goals and stay focused. Clear goals, attainable goals, measurable goals, and stay focused. Develop a daily habit. Now, when it comes to developing a daily habit, it doesn't come easy, it doesn't come cheap. It comes with that discipline, most especially when you have to do this daily, early morning walks. There's an elderly gentleman in my neighborhood. He might be in his 80s or, yeah. And this man is so consistent. It doesn't matter the weather. The other time, wind chills alone was about -5, and he was still going on his regular routine walk at 5 a.m. You know, at that time, somebody wants just to pull the comforter over themselves and just snooze more. The other time, it was raining, and he was still going on his morning walks. Discipline. It takes you to develop that daily habit. Control your thoughts and your actions. You know, it says that your thoughts becomes your actions, and you know, so control your thoughts and your actions. Let me read this. It says watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become character. That's a bonus one. And also control, embrace accountability, and rely on God's strength. Rely on God's strength. And I want to ask you this question. Which of these do you need to work on the most? Which of these 5 points do you need to work on the most? And I want to encourage, take a moment to reflect and commit to one step of discipline this week. Just one. Not many, but one. And I want to hear from you. Send a comment, and you can send it on the Facebook or the YouTube page. And you know, as we come down to the 100th episode, we started with episode 1, and gradually we're getting to 100. I would like to ask that, and I'll be very grateful if you can share your thoughts with me, what you are grateful for as you started watching this podcast by using the hashtag Step Out, Step In Gratitude. Step Out, Step In Gratitude. Or Step Out, hashtag Step Out, Step In 100. I'll be very, very grateful to hear from you using this. All right, so again, thank you all for tuning in to episode 97. And if this episode has encouraged you, and again, I want to thank you so much, Mark, for sharing. And as Mark shared, you know, Ellen came on, thanking Mark for sharing, and I believe Ellen also shared, as well as many more on the other platforms, Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. And thank you, RC, for also tuning in tonight, as well as those that I cannot see, but I know there are many more on there. You know, and I also want to thank my one and only, my wife, Nanaya, for all the encouragement in helping me do this. Thank you all so much. And again, if this episode has encouraged you, please share with a friend who needs to hear this. I believe somebody needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe to my Step Out, Step In podcast if you haven't yet done so. And don't forget to click on that notification bell so that anytime something is posted, you'll be notified. You'll never miss an episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much. And until same time next week, I want to encourage you, stay disciplined, stay strong, and keep stepping forward in faith. This has been your host, David Joe, and I'll say I love you, and there's nothing you can do. Have a wonderful, amazing, productive, and a fruitful week. God bless you.
Step out, step into the world unknown. Leave your fears behind, watch how you've grown. Challenge yourself, break free and begin to find the purpose within. Step out, step in, out of your comfort zone. Step into the light where your potential shone. No more limits, let your true self win. Step out, step in, let the journey begin. Believe in the strength that comes from within.